Good morning. I am going to make a juice today. I have celery and green apple, so I'm just going to throw that in my juicer really quick to get the day started.
Love is lost and love is found. It gets you high, then pulls you down. It brings you to your knees, then comes and sweeps you off your feet.
This is my favorite juice recipe right now. The green apple and celery it works so good together. I could chug this juice, like I might just drink the whole thing. As you can tell, I am not with Tori right now. She left, so I'm alone in the van. It's very disorienting. It's very weird. It's been a while, like over 7 months since I've been alone in this van. And I'm having a lot of emotions about it, and I'm not doing that well with it. I mean, I'm doing okay, but I'll get into that later. Right now, I'll just give you a debrief of everything that's happened over the last week. In my last video, we were in Yosemite, and we just wrapped up our time there by rock climbing. In this season of life, I have just completely fallen in love with climbing, and I really am wanting to get better and grow and like push a lot of the mental limitations I've had around that.
6 kind of deal. A traverse. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, if you guys are going up there, which it looks like you are.
Yeah, we are. Hi, how's it going?
He was like, oh, thanks. Oh, he's so cute. That was so cute. Oh, I got my first pieces of trad gear. Only 3, but I'm really excited about them.
Look how cool this is. Press it and it makes it smaller, and then it opens up and gets bigger and creates tension, and this becomes like your bolt essentially to your protection on the wall so you don't fall. Maddie is going to climb first, and she's much more experienced with trad. So here's all my gear, and I am placing it on my harness from largest to smallest just for accessibility, and so that it's easier to figure out what piece I need as I'm climbing rather than trying to have to look through all the gear and figure out what I need while I'm on the wall.
This wall.
You're climbing and you're doing so good.
I'm climbing this wall
Yeah, you
right
are.
now.
Daydreaming.
After our time in Yosemite, we drove to San Francisco. It was about 4 hours. We also had some errands to do on the way there. And when we got to San Francisco, we were completely out of groceries, and we didn't want to go grocery shopping and waste time doing that because Tori was leaving the next day. So instead, we went and got Thai food and had a little dinner date. I got drunken noodles, and I love Thai food. I think drunken noodles is my favorite. Tori got a pad Thai, and we also got spring rolls. So that was really nice to do with her and just like wind down before she started packing, which was a whole chaotic experience.
Every time I pack, I'm so scatterbrained. I'm like, I need to pull everything out and see what comes with me.
I'm sad. Tori's leaving tomorrow.
I'm sad too. We're gonna be apart for 4 weeks.
Oh my god, you have mascara on your eye.
Really?
Yeah, right there.
I have a food baby from the pad thai. These are clothes I'm bringing. But I need to get under the bed and get my big backpack. And I'm gonna check that and then just take this as my carry-on.
Oh, cool. Then the next day, I dropped her off at the airport. It was really hard to say goodbye. It's just been so long since we've been separated, and I think that it kind of reminded me of saying goodbye when we were long distance, because if you don't know, Tori and I were long distance for like the first year of our relationship. And it was really hard on us. Like, we were very open about how it was quite difficult on us. I was able to distract myself from Tori not being there because I reunited with my friend Nikki. I spent Thanksgiving with her family and we made a massive vegan feast. Her family is sweet enough to let it all be vegan, so no one ate animal products even though her family members aren't vegan themselves. But we made a pumpkin pie. We also made stuffing. How do you sharpen a knife that's like this?
I don't know, but it definitely needs some sharpening.
Got these Gardein tofurkeys. We had Brussels sprouts, we had green beans, we had gravy, this homemade mushroom gravy, we made homemade whipped cream, we had a pecan pie. Like, we really had everything, it felt like. Oh, I forgot to mention too, before Thanksgiving, the morning of Thanksgiving, we did a turkey trot.
That was way too close up in my eyes. That was just for fun, not to your surprise.
I did 3 miles, but you could also do 5 miles. I've never done turkey trot before, but Nikki's family does it, so it was disorienting. I felt very out of place. Like, I haven't ran in an event like that in so long, but it was really cool to like get out of my comfort zone and do something new, and it did make me want to start running more. I'm gonna fill up more. The day after Thanksgiving, Nikki and I went to a beach called Fort Funston here in San Francisco. It was such a full circle moment because I had actually been to this beach when I was alone and I first moved into the van, and I had a lot of anxiety, so I did yoga and journaled the first time I went, but this time I feel like I have this community and I've really like stepped into this lifestyle and I don't feel as anxious or alone anymore. But we just laid by the beach and we painted and we hung out with her dog Rainy, and it was a really nice day. Just catch up and talk and hear what's been going on in each other's lives. And then we had a little dinner date that night and we went to a restaurant called Wild Seed. It's an all vegan fancy restaurant in San Francisco. If I could give it a rating, I would definitely say 10 out of 10. It is a little pricey, and so maybe that knocks it down one. Maybe I'll say 9 out of 10, but at the same time, it's like you definitely get the experience. Like, if you are wanting to go on a fancy date night, this is the place to go. One of the most exciting adventures that I went on with Nikki this week was climbing on the Marin coast. We met up with our other friend who's also an animal rights activist named Elena. We also haven't seen her in a really long time, so it felt really good to catch up with her and a bunch of her climbing friends. And we made the trek, and I don't say trek lightly. It was a expedition, quite a scramble down to the climbing spot by the coast. And then once we got to the coast, the tide was rising, so it was like splashing us and getting really high and crazy at certain points. It was one of the more unique places I've climbed, and the rock had a lot of really interesting features. It had like a lot of holes, but it was very textured, so it felt really good to climb on. I have been climbing for like almost a decade now, which feels crazy, but Nikki is just getting into it, and it felt really cool to like show her this world of mine that I haven't shown her before because we've never been climbing before. She was just such a natural on the wall also. Like, all of the climbers in the group talked about how naturally good she was at climbing, and it just makes so much sense because Nikki's naturally quite athletic and she's really good at yoga, and I feel like yoga translates to climbing. So that brings me here. I am now alone in the Bay Area. Nikki has left back to San Diego where she lived. I'm just trying to figure things out and figure out how to be alone. I think it's a really good exercise for me. Inevitably, when you spend so much time with someone and so much time with your partner, you become a little codependent, especially living in such a small space. And I'm just realizing how much I rely on Tori for like little things. I also have like built an identity with her, and I feel like it will be a really uncomfortable but interesting exercise for me to learn how to like be traveling alone and socializing alone and making decisions on my own, and also just like spending time with myself and loving myself. Now I think I'm going to make breakfast. I am going to do avocado toast with some heirloom tomato slices on it and a tofu scramble on the side. Tofu scrambles are really good. For the avocado toast, I put salt and pepper and lime on top, and then tomatoes, a little bit of black garlic, and sauerkraut. So let's try it. I just started this book. It's called Alone on the Wall by Alex Honnold. I actually met Alex Honnold a couple weeks ago in Yosemite, and that's what inspired me to buy this at a mountaineering store in Yosemite. And so far, like I literally am on page 12, so I just started, but I think I'm gonna really like it. I feel like it's already just touching on things about climbing, and it's like educational, but also in the form of a memoir and a story, which I think is really interesting, and I just like love that type of stuff. I'm taking a little break reading though, because I wanted to share a little bit about how it's been to be alone for the last few days while Tori's gone. It really feels like how I felt when I first got on the road, and the first place I went was actually San Francisco, the Bay Area, exactly where I am now. And it was this really liberating, exciting feeling to be somewhere that I had never been before. It felt so freeing to be on my own when up until that moment I had always felt like I was relying on other people. In those ways it was so freeing, and I also feel like I learned to rely on myself a lot, be more self-sufficient. I was on the other side of the country from my family and people I knew, and it was this new beginning. I'm feeling paralleled feelings right now where it is this new beginning. Like I'm like, what do I do for the next 2 weeks when I'm not with Tori? Like, where do I go? I think it's always nice to experience like some alone time and learn to trust yourself and learn to like be alone and be more independent and step into that discomfort. And as a result, I feel like there's so much growth that comes from that. But I will not lie, it is uncomfortable. I've had a lot of anxiety. I felt like I don't know what to do with myself a little bit. I'm gonna spend some time alone for the next couple hours. I honestly have some work to do. And so after I'm done reading a little longer, I think I'm going to open up my laptop and work on some invoices that I need to send some brands. Something happened yesterday with a brand that really got me thinking about what it means to be an ally to the LGBTQ plus community. I had a brand reach out to me a couple weeks ago. They wanted me to do 2 TikTok ads for them, and I already did both of them. The first one I did, and it began with Tori and I kissing, just like one peck. It was approved by the brand. I posted it. I didn't think anything of it. And then I got a message from them, an email saying they wanted me to take it down because it had received so much hate. They didn't want it to affect me negatively. And I didn't even notice the hate actually, but then I looked at it and there was a bunch of people saying like, I'm not gonna buy this product because they chose lesbians to be spokespeople for this product. So they said they wanted me to take it down. I just responded and said it's not affecting me. I really don't mind. You guys paid for this ad and I would like to keep, like, I don't mind keeping it up. And they said they still wanted me to take it down despite that. Then for the second ad that I'm doing with them, they want me to like take out this shot with Tori and I together at the end, and we're not kissing, we're not doing anything, we're just like close together on the bed. They said that they love the videos and that they don't see anything wrong with it, but they're still wanting to like modify my content because of the backlash they received from people who are homophobic. I don't know, it just didn't sit super right with me. I just feel like this brand came to me, a queer creator, and they wanted me to make content, and then maybe they didn't see anything wrong with it, but as soon as other people got mad about it, then they just like didn't want to stand firm in their beliefs, assuming that these are their beliefs of supporting the queer community. To me, that does not seem like support when it's conditional. You support someone when other people support you supporting them, but when other people don't support you supporting them and they get mad, then you're gonna withdraw your support or you're gonna want the video to be taken down. But that's my little rant of the day.
Love is lost and love is found.
Now I'm just working on my bullet journal. I'm doing the December spread. I do this every month and it just really helps me. Like, I also do a habit tracker. It helps me organize everything.
Comes and sweeps you off your feet. Love is blind but helps you see. It makes you cry, makes you believe.
I have spent the last few days alone here in the Bay Area, and at first I had a lot of anxiety, honestly, the first couple of days. And now as time has passed, I have felt a lot better, and I feel like exposure to what scares you always helps you grow and feel less afraid. And it's funny because I was like climbing in the beginning of this video outdoors, and that was really scary for me, and that's always very scary for me. But one of the things I try to do with that is like take more falls, like that I know are safe, to show myself that it's okay and like I am safe doing that. And I feel like that's also true for traveling solo. Like, it gives me anxiety and I feel scared of it, especially after like 7 months of traveling with my partner. But now that I've done it for a few days, it feels a lot better. And this is like a common theme for me. Like, when I first get on the road, I'm excited, I'm also nervous and a little anxious, and then I realize it's okay and I'm safe and I kind of get in the groove of it and it starts to feel really normal. That's basically it for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching as usual. I really appreciate you guys and have loved sharing snippets of my life with you all. And yeah, I'm really grateful for it. I'll see you guys in next week's video, which will be on Sunday as usual. Bye.